Hello, I'm Harry Folie TV. I remember it, no, you don't have to. And I just watched Joker 2. So with Joker 2, we follow Arthur Fleck and he's been put on trial after the murder of Murray Franklin. And the whole film is set in Arkham Asylum and the courtroom. As well as that, he meets an inmate known as Lee Quinzel, otherwise known as Harley Quinn, played by Lady Gaga, and seems to have a deep infatuation for her, as well as the psychological fantasies about the two escaping together and falling in love. With all that being said, I'll get into this review and try not to spoil this movie, and oh boy, what I will say is, this movie is truly something. So with this film, we of course have Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker / Arthur Fleck, and Lady Gaga and Harley Quinn. And with this film being a musical, I really wondered how they were going to pull this off, but they did it in a really interesting way, where the musical portions were happening within Arthur's head. And I really do like what they were trying to do with this film. I do get the message behind this film, and even though a lot of people say that Joker Folie do really hates its fans, I gotta disagree on that one, because it really feels like this film is really trying to make us see how pathetic Arthur Fleck really is, and how really, in reality, he's just a pathetic man who committed murder and tried to get famous for it. And I really appreciate that film for what it was trying to do. I know a lot of people are expecting Joker to actually be the Joker, but I feel like the way the film concluded makes sense for what it was trying to do. It was trying to show that Arthur Fleck was just a pathetic man with no real goals. I also think the soundtrack by Hilda Gondortier is really good, and really catching as well. Like, once you watch the film and listen to these tracks, like with the first film, you can really hear them in your head after you've watched this film. Or maybe that's just me. Another positive thing I can say about this movie is that it's very beautifully shot, and you can really tell that the visual effects really had a lot of effort put into them. And I really do like the musical portions. I will say, though, that strangely, the sound seemed to overpower the dialogue. Like, I don't know if it was just me, but I went to see this film at the cinema last night, and weirdly enough, the sound, you could barely hear what the characters were saying, but it seemed like the music and the audio really overpowered the dialogue and really overshadowed it, which I thought was kind of weird. So I'll give them that. It really felt like a YouTube video that was very poorly edited. That was kind of the vibe it was giving me. And I don't like using that word. YouTubing, I don't like using that term. YouTubers really should be doing this for fun and not for money and views. But I will say that this movie didn't really feel like it was having a lot of effort put into it in terms of the audio and sound, and that is really a shame. What I also really didn't like about this film is the way it portrayed the Joker and Harley Quinn's dynamic. They didn't really do all that much in this film, and all they did was sing together in an asylum. When I initially saw the trailer, I legit thought they were going to do a Bonnie and Clyde / Bride of Chucky type storyline, where this villain couple goes on a chaotic duo, meanwhile the main character or secondary character saves the day, or something like that, which would have been better than what we got. I also thought this movie really dragged. The runtime was only 2 hours and 18 minutes, but it really felt longer. It really felt like it was as long as Matt Reeves' The Batman, and that is not good for a movie like this. I honestly thought this movie was going to go on for another half hour, because it was only, well, I was constantly looking at the time, and the movie was nearly over, but it felt like it was going on forever. And honestly, I don't think this movie is nearly as impactful or as well done as the first movie, or the first Joker movie. I think overall this movie wasn't that great, but it had so much potential. Lady Gaga was great as Harley Quinn, and I think she could have done even better than what she was given. Arthur Fleck was a good Joker, but again, he didn't really get to do all that much in this film because he was either in the asylum or in the courtroom. And then there's the ending. Oh my god. I won't spoil it for you, but the ending just left me going, what? By the end credits, by the time the end credits rolled, I was just sitting there like, what was that? And, oh, wow. Todd Phillips had confirmed that there will be no Joker 3, or that's what it seems like, even though the ending seemed to set that up in the most bizarre way a comic film could set anything up. But overall, I did not like this movie. I don't think it was nearly as bad as Madam Web, because at least it had a consistent story. But it could have been so much better than it was. It could have been just as good as the first movie, if not better. And to be honest, this was such a letdown, because this was one of my most anticipated comic book movies next to the Batman Part 2 and the 2025 Superman movie. But let me know what you guys think. Do you like the movie? Do you not like the movie? Let me know what you all think, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm Harry Folie TV. Remember it, so you don't have to.